Hi everyone, this is Zulekha from Edureka. Today's session is dedicated to the two most commonly used machine learning algorithms, which is linear regression and logistic regression. Now, guys, even though linear regression and logistic regression are the most widely used machine learning algorithms, there is still a lot of confusion between them, and today we'll compare the two and see how they work. So, without any further delay, let's take a look at today's agenda. We're going to begin the session with a discussion on the various types of machine learning. Next, we'll see what exactly linear regression is and how it works. After that, we'll move on and discuss about logistic regression. Then we look at a linear regression use case and a logistic regression use case. Finally, we'll end the session by comparing linear regression and logistic regression. So guys, let's take a look at today's first topic. Now, before I begin with the types of machine learning, if any of you guys are interested in machine learning or want to learn more about machine learning, I'm going to leave a link in the description. You all can check out that video and then probably get back to this one. All right. So let's begin with the types of machine learning. So guys, first we have supervised learning. In this type of learning, the machine learns under guidance. So if you remember at school, our teachers guided us and taught us. Similarly, in supervised learning, machines learn by feeding them labeled data and explicitly telling them, hey, this is the input and this is how the output must look. The teacher in this case is the training data. Next up, we have unsupervised learning. Now, here the data is not labeled, there is no guide at all. The machine has to figure out the data set given and it must find hidden patterns in order to make predictions about the output. So, an example of unsupervised learning is an adult like you and me. We don't need a guide to help us with our daily activities, right? We figure things out on our own without any supervision. Now, finally, we have reinforcement learning. So, let's say that you were dropped off at an isolated island. So, guys, what would you do? Initially, you would panic and you'd be unsure of what to do, where to get food from, how to live, and so on. But after a while, you will have to adapt. You have to learn how to live in the island, adapt to the changing climates, learn what to eat and what not to eat. So basically, what you're doing is you're following the hit and trial concept because you're new to this surrounding, and the only way for you to learn is experience and then learn from your experience. So, this is what reinforcement learning is about. It is a learning method wherein an agent interacts with its environment by producing some actions and it discovers errors or rewards. So, guys, this was a brief discussion about the types of machine learning. Now, let's move ahead and look at the different types of supervised learning problems. All right, so like I said earlier, machine learning has three types of learnings. Okay, it's supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Now, under supervised learning, we have two classes of problems. Okay, so there are two problems that we can deal with. One is a classification problem, and the other is a regression problem. So here we'll be focusing on supervised learning itself because our linear regression and our logistic regression are actually supervised learning algorithms. Okay. Now, before we start discussing about linear and logistic regression, let's try to differentiate between classification problems and regression problems. So, guys, there is an important difference between classification and regression problems. Basically, classification is about predicting a label, and regression is about predicting a quantity. Okay, so let's say that you want to classify your emails into two groups. So basically, what we'll be doing is we'll be labeling our mails as spam and non-spam mails. Okay, so for this kind of problem where we have to assign our input data into different classes, we make use of classification algorithms. Now, under classification, we have two types. We have binary classification and multi-class classification. Now, the example that I gave earlier about classifying emails as spam and non-spam is of binary type. Now, this is because here we are classifying mails into only two classes, spam and non-spam. But let's say that we want to classify mails into three classes. One containing spam messages, second one containing non-spam messages, and third one, let's say, containing drafts. So here what we're doing is we're classifying mails into more than two classes. This is exactly what multi-class classification means. Now, one more thing to note here is that it is common for classification models to predict a continuous value. But this continuous value actually represents the probability of a given data point belonging to each output class. So always the end result in a classification problem is going to be a label or a class. Now let's discuss about regression. So guys, regression is used to predict a continuous quantity. Now when I say a continuous quantity, it's basically a continuous variable. A continuous variable is a variable that has infinite number of possibilities. Now, for example, a person's weight. Someone could weigh 180 pounds, or they could weigh 180.10 pounds, or 180.110 pounds. Okay. So the number of possibilities for weight is limitless. And this is exactly what a continuous variable is. So, guys, regression is a predictive analysis used to predict continuous variables. So, in regression, you don't have to label data into different classes. All right. Instead, you have to predict a final outcome. Like, let's say you want to predict the price of a stock over a period of time. For such a problem, you can make use of regression by studying the relation between the dependent variable, which is basically your stock price, and the independent variable, which is the time. So, guys, that was a brief summary of regression and classification. Now, let's move ahead and see what exactly linear regression is. So, guys, linear regression is a method to predict a dependent variable y based on values of independent variables x. So, in the previous example where I discussed about the stock price, the dependent variable is the stock price, since the price of a stock depends and varies over a period of time, correct? So, because the stock price is dependent on some other variable, it's known as a dependent variable. And one more important thing to note here is that the dependent variable for a linear regression model is always continuous. Now, guys, this is a very important point because this is one of the major attributes of a linear regression model. So, the dependent variable for a linear regression model is always continuous. So, here the price of a stock is continuous because it can have infinite possible values. All right. Now, on the other hand, time is the independent variable. Okay, it can either be continuous or it can be discrete. Now, this dependent variable is used to decide the value of the dependent variable. Like I mentioned earlier, the stock price can change depending on the time. Okay, so it varies over a period of time. That's why time is considered as the independent variable. Okay, now let's look at how a linear regression works. So first of all, we try to figure out a relationship between our dependent variable and the independent variable by using a best fitting straight line. Now, linear regression is called a simple model because we only take two variables in this case, and we try to establish a relation between them. Now, the reason why linear regression is called linear is because both the variables vary linearly with respect to each other. So basically, the stock price and the time are linearly dependent on each other. So while plotting the relationship between two variables, we'll be observing more of a straight line instead of a curve because they're linearly dependent. Now let's discuss the math behind linear regression. So the equation that you see over here, y is equal to b naught plus b1 into x plus e, is used to represent a linear regression model. So this equation is used to draw out a relation between the independent variable x and the dependent variable y. Now we all know the equation for a linear line in math, which is y is equal to mx plus c. So basically the linear regression equation is represented along the same equation, all right, because this is a straight line. Let's break down this formula. Now y over here basically stands for the dependent variable that needs to be predicted. Okay, so maybe this is the stock price. Now B naught is basically the y-intercept, which is basically the point on this line which touches the y-axis. Okay, that's why it's called y-intercept. So this is our B naught over here. B1 is the slope of this line, this linear line. And the slope can be either negative or positive depending on the relation between the dependent variable and the independent variable. Next, we have x. X here represents the independent variable that is used to predict our resultant dependent value. E denotes the error in the computation. So any sort of error is denoted by E. Okay, you can see the error over here. Similarly, this is the error of this data point and so on. Okay, now that you have a basic understanding of linear regression, let's move ahead and discuss what logistic regression is. Now, guys, I'm not going to go in depth about linear regression and logistic regression because we're going to focus on the comparison between linear and logistic. Okay, but if you want to learn more about linear and logistic regression, I'm going to leave a link in the description. You all can check out those videos. Now let's look at what is logistic regression. So guys, logistic regression is one of the basic and popular algorithms to solve a classification problem. It is named logistic because its underlying technique is quite similar to linear regression. So logistic regression is basically a method which is used to predict a dependent variable given a set of independent variables such that the dependent variable is categorical. So guys, remember, in logistic regression, the dependent variable is categorical. But when we discussed linear regression, the dependent variable was always continuous. Okay, so this is one major difference between logistic and linear regression. Now, what do I mean by categorical variable? So when I say categorical variable, I mean that the variable can hold values like 1 or 0, yes or no, and so on. Okay, so basically a binary type of variable. So basically in logistic regression, the outcome is always categorical. So when the resultant outcome has only two possible values, it is always desirable to have a model that predicts the value as either 0 or 1, or as a probability score that ranges between 0 and 1. Linear regression does not have this capability. Okay, because if you use linear regression to model a binary response variable, the resulting model will not predict y values in the range of 0 and 1. Now, this is obviously because linear regression works on continuous dependent variables and not on categorical variables. Okay, you can't expect categorical results from a linear regression model because you're feeding it only continuous variables, correct? So guys, that's why we make use of logistic regression. Now, the main difference, like I mentioned earlier, is the resultant outcome in a linear regression model is always continuous. But when it comes to logistic regression, the resultant outcome is categorical. Okay. Now, let's discuss a little bit about the math behind logistic regression. So, guys, first of all, if you look at the graph, you can see that it's not a linear line. Okay. Instead, it is a curve. Now, this curve is basically called the S curve or the sigmoid curve. The sigmoid curve maps the relationship between the dependent and independent variable for logistic regression. Now, I know that I mentioned logistic regression only calculates the outcome as 0 or 1. So, why do we have a curve from 0 to 1? It should be a straight line at 1 and a straight line at 0 because obviously it's outputting values as only 0 and 1. Now, this is because logistic regression calculates the probability. All right, so let's say that the final probability of an event occurring is 0.6. What does this mean? Does my output belong to class number 1 or does it belong to class number 0? So guys, when such a situation occurs, we set a threshold value. Let's say that my threshold value is 0.5. This means that any value in the range of 0.5 to 1 is classified as 1, and any value below 0.5 is considered as 0. This way you can easily get a binary resultant variable, which is exactly what we need when it comes to logistic regression. Now let's try to understand this equation over here. So guys, y over here ranges between 0 and 1. Okay, it represents the probability of an event to happen. Okay, so the y value can be between 0 and 1. It can be 0.3, 0.2, 0.6, 0.5, all of that. Okay, and that's when you set a threshold value so that you can categorize the output as either 0 or 1. Next, we have x1, x2, x3. These are basically the independent variables that are used to calculate the dependent variable. Now, C obviously here is the numerical constant, and B1 and B2 basically represent the respective coefficients of x1, x2, and so on. Okay, so guys, I'm not going to go in depth about linear and logistic regression. I've told you all that if you want to learn more about it, I'll leave a link in the description. You all can go through those videos. All right. Now let's discuss a use case for linear and logistic regression. So starting with linear regression. So our problem statement here is to study the relationship between the monthly sales and the online advertising cost of some XYZ company in order to predict their sales in the upcoming months. So basically we're going to predict the sales based on the amount that they're spending on advertising. So our dependent variable becomes the number of sales for obvious reasons because we are going to calculate our dependent variable, which is the number of sales. And the independent variable is obviously the advertising cost. Here I've represented advertising costs in terms of $1,000. So with the data provided in this table, if we have to plot a graph, we get a linear positive relationship between the monthly e-commerce sales and the online advertising cost. Okay, so here you can see the plot. Now, this is a positive correlation. Now, when I say positive correlation, it means that the value of the dependent variable y, which is basically the number of sales, increases with the value of the independent variable. Okay, that's why you see the line going up. This is called a positive slope or a positive correlation, meaning that if you increase the advertising cost, your monthly sales will also increase. So you can use this plot to predict your future sales. So you know that now if you keep increasing your advertising costs, your monthly sales will also increase. So guys, linear regression has a lot of applications in the business sector. It is used to forecast sales, to perform risk analysis, measure the profit probability, and so on. Now let's take a look at a use case for logistic regression. So guys, our problem statement here is to predict if a student will get admitted to a school based on his CGPA. So if you look at our data set, it contains two variables, the CGPA and the admission variable. So guys, X over here indicates the CGPA and Y indicates whether these students will get an admission in college. Okay. So 1 here will mean that you've got an admission and 0 means no admit. Okay. Now here the logistic regression will help assess what level of CGPA leads to admission in a college. So the logistic model is trained in such a way that the students with a CGPA of 6 and above get admission. Okay, hence Y equals to 1. But if the CGPA is below 6, they don't get an admission. Okay, that's when Y equals to 0. So the students classified in the group Y equal to 1 will get an admission, whereas the students in the group Y equal to 0 will not get an admission. Now guys, in a similar manner, logistic regression is used to solve n number of complex classification problems. It is used in the cybersecurity domain to detect fraudulent customers. It is used in image classification and a lot other classification problems. Okay, now let's try to sum up our entire session and let's compare the two models. So first of all, let's look at the definition of linear regression and logistic regression. So the main aim of linear regression is to predict a continuous dependent variable based on the values of the independent variables. But when it comes to logistic regression, the aim is to predict a categorical dependent variable based on the values of independent variables. These are the main aim of each of these models. Now let's look at the variable type. Now in linear regression, the dependent variable is always continuous. All right, this is very important to remember because this is the main objective of linear regression. Okay, it makes use of continuous dependent variables to predict continuous values. Similarly, when it comes to logistic regression, you're going to use categorical dependent variable to predict a categorical value. All right, now let's look at the estimation method. So guys, linear regression is based on the least square estimation, which basically says that the regression coefficient should be chosen in such a way that it minimizes the sum of the square distance of each observed response. Okay, now this is in depth about linear regression, so that's why I'm going to leave a link in the description. Now logistic regression on the other hand is based on maximum likelihood estimation. Okay, this basically says that the coefficients should be chosen in such a way that it maximizes the probability of Y given some value of X. Next is the equation. Earlier we discussed this equation where for linear regression we have Y is equal to B0 plus B1 into X plus E. Okay, similarly this is the equation for logistic regression. So the next difference is the best fit line. So guys, linear regression aims at finding the best fitting straight line, which is also called the regression line. All right, but when it comes to logistic regression, if you try and map the relationship between the dependent and independent variable, you're going to get a curve, which is also known as the sigmoid curve. All right, so in linear regression, the relationship between the dependent and independent variable is represented using a straight line. But when it comes to logistic regression, the relationship between the dependent and independent variable is represented using a sigmoid curve. Now let's look at the relationship between dependent and independent variable. Now, when it comes to linear regression, there has to be a linear relationship between the two. So when I say linear, I mean that the variables have to vary linearly. Okay, that's how the straight line is formed in the first place. All right. When it comes to logistic regression, it's not necessary to have a linear relationship. Now, the output of linear regression is always going to be a predicted integer value or basically a continuous value. So when it comes to logistic regression, the output has to be a binary value. Okay, so it should either be class A or class B, or it should be 0 or 1, something like that. Finally, we have applications. Now, linear regression is mainly used to predict outcomes like the expected number of sales, and it's always used to predict some continuous value. All right, but when it comes to logistic regression, it's mainly used in classification. So when you want to classify a data set into two different classes, then you use logistic regression. You can find a lot of applications of linear regression in the business domain, and logistic regression is mainly used in the cybersecurity, image processing, and classification domain. So guys, with this we come to the end of today's session. If you have any doubts regarding today's session, please leave them in the comment section below and we'll get back to you at the earliest. So So, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day.
I hope you have enjoyed listening to this video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries, and we will reply them at the earliest. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to EduReka channel to learn more. Happy learning!